Star Wars fans were treated to the official title of Episode 7, henceforth known as The Last Jedi. Fans are split on whether they like the title or not, and none more so than our very own Andy Signore and Joe Starr. This is Screen Junkies News. All right, friends, you know how we do it here at Screen Junkies. When there's a disagreement, there's only one way to figure it out, and that's fight. That's fight hard. That's fight to the death. And that's why we have Andy Signore and Joe Starr here to figure out The Last Jedi, good title, bad title, gentlemen, what do we think? Andy Signore, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go to the dark side, the Sith in me, and get ready for the internet hatred of me because we're nitpicking a title that we know nothing about a film we know nothing about. But that's what we do here because you always want us to. I'm going to say it's not a good title.
And I will take any excuse that I can find to yell at my boss on air. I'm going green, like Ahsoka, my favorite Jedi. But the young one, the annoying one from Clone Wars.
Okay, Andy, why bad? Why is The Last Jedi not getting you in your gooey, warm Star Wars spot?
Look, when I first saw it, when I woke up and I checked my feed and I saw it and it was red and it was revealed and it said The Last Jedi, I was like, oh yeah, that means Luke Skywalker. All right, I'm in. And then I sat for a little while, and I sat and thought about it, and I was like, they just returned. The Jedis, they literally just returned. And then we awakened the Force, and now we're already on The Last Jedi? Like, these poor Jedi. It made me realize, come on, we're still too early to declare the last of anything. And so to me, I got too hung up on this thought, and it started making me get frustrated of like a finite moment and a finite group. How can we define that when they just returned?
Look, in the Star Wars universe, Andy, timelines are overrated, and Rogue One showed us that. What is it, Princess? It's hope, a new hope, and then a day later, a new hope takes place. So sure, they just returned, but in a matter of days, they can be the last of the thing. Like, timelines are overrated. Wow. In Star
Bold
Wars,
words.
Titles are supposed to be dumb and on the nose, and A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and The Last Jedi is as on the nose as possible, and therefore it is a perfect addition to the Star Wars franchise.
Well, here's a question though. How is it on the nose? Because Jedi is singular and Jedi is plural. So what are we saying here? Is it The Last Jedi? Is Rey the Last Jedi? Is Luke the Last Jedi? Or is it the last group of Jedi?
Was Luke the Return of the Jedi? Was Leia the Return of the Jedi? You know, while you were watching Return of the Jedi, you didn't know. You're my sister. Somehow you've always known. Luke, no, run away. You have powers I could never have. We didn't know in that movie. We don't know in this movie. Questions.
I mean, you're not helping sell any of the titles. Yeah, you're not helping at all. I mean, to me, exactly with why I feel like this title is frustrating to me of like, well, look, I would say I kind of like the ambiguity of who is the Jedi. Yeah. It does let us have that, not to help him. But I still stand by the fact that it's too definitive for me. Like they just returned, not to repeat myself. If you place out the New Hope and the Empire Strikes Back, I really feel like Return of the Jedi feels like a better place here. Like I wish they had called it something else for Return of the Jedi, and we could have saved Return of the Jedi here because that feels like a better chapter to this book. Whereas right now I feel like I'm about to close a book versus start more, and I do want more of these Skywalker trilogies. Like I'm a fan of the episodes. I'm not as much of a fan of the standalones, and this is an opportunity to give us those stories continued, and I just feel like we're closing a
But now your issue is that you really wish they had switched up the name of a movie that they made in the 80s. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I bet you Lucas really thought that through.
Here's why I like
well.
The Last Jedi. It sounds like, like you said, it sounds like a very definitive title, and normally that would be the third episode in the trilogy, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. The Last Jedi has weight like those, but it's the second one, and in a trilogy where everyone is already going, oh, they're just rehashing things, that's interesting to me. That changes things up. That's why I like The Last Jedi.
What about the fact that it's red? What do we think about that? What does that speak to?
It clearly means it's going to be good.
Oh yeah, no, red's
awesome.
a dope color.
No, look, like, red could be evil.
Red means evil.
Yeah.
So it's like the combination of the Jedi, but then also the evil Sith side. I do like the red. I'm laughing because it's so funny that's what we have to speculate.
Well, I mean, at this point,
What do you
that's
guys
all we
think of
need.
the color red?
Well, because it's seriously.
It really pops off of the outer
it's-
space.
Here's what I'm thinking.
I'll be honest, I saw the red and I went,
Evil.
that looks cool, that's evil.
Right.
I
That's
did,
why,
yes.
because
Yeah.
you have to take any subliminal message at this point.
Totally.
That's why I want to know, like, how many Jedi is in a Jedi?
It could be, it's
How
like the
mu-
last deer, right?
We
It could
don't
be
know, and that's
several
why the
deer,
title
could be
works.
one deer.
Yeah.
That's why the title
last
works,
moose.
man. Like, yeah, is it Rey? Is it Finn somehow? You know, the questions are why the title totally works. Plus, this reminds me of The Last Starfighter, which is also a great sci-fi movie about the last of a thing.
Okay.
Look, all points he's making that I made for him, which isn't helping my cause, but just pointing out that he has not made that strong of an argument. I still find this title slightly worrisome as does it sound cool? Yeah, but go past that. Think about, look, Lucas made these trilogies, right? He knew all along there were going to be 3 trilogies. You'd think you'd at least know your chapter titles moving forward. And look, I don't know what the next chapter beyond Last Jedi is. Last Night is Transformers. That was a really bad faux pas. But I just, this sounds too too final to me of like The Last Jedi. That to me, this means you gotta have one last one left.
Okay, so here's my question to you. What would you name it if you could have had your druthers?
Because like the whole series is always, where are the Jedi? Where are they? Oh, we got to find the Jedi. Like they're always out in the skirts.
See, that's why I dig
and this is the last
title.
one. I feel like we've been there though already because Obi-Wan retreated and then Luke had to bring him back. He came back out. It just feels a little repetitive. And then we're already sort of concluding this is the last one.
No, see, we're not already concluding anything because this franchise has been around for decades and it's
You're
always been
concluding it
Jedi
by
and
saying it's
Sith
the
and
last
Darths and Darths.
Jedi.
And
You are
that's awesome.
stating out. This is the last one.
This means, holy shit, are we finally going to do something new after years and years of Jedi have brown Tatooine robes on and, you know, there's Darth
How
this
are
and
we doing
Darth
new
that.
when we're seeing the last one of what we've already seen?
Something new beyond the Jedi Order might happen. That's fascinating to me. Does the Last Jedi mean we're really closing a chapter on just even the word Jedi? Something new's going to come after this. The Sith are already gone. We have Knights of Ren. Does this mean that the Jedi are going to be replaced by something new? And that's why I dig this title.
Interesting. I mean, I personally see it as like a rebirth of something because just because it seems like it's the last of, that doesn't mean it's the end of. It means that there is a small force that is trying to fight back. And maybe this is the birth of something new. I don't know. Personally, I kind of like it. In terms of arguments, I think both of you guys are making really good points. It being too finite, it being too definitive, it closing a chapter as opposed to opening up when it should on the second or third of an episode. What you're saying in terms of it being something that people complained was a rehash, but the enthusiasm that it still brings, and I like what you're saying about it being a rebirth, but it doesn't matter because the movie still is probably going to be awesome. But we want to know what you think of the title. Is it a good title? Is it a crappy title? You let us know. You can comment below. You can tweet us at SJ News. You can tell Andy and Joe if you thought they were wrong.
It's kind of a good title.
You can always come back for more Screen Junkies news because we're never going anywhere. We're not the last of anything.